Now we have to think about similarities and differences with respect to each composer's purpose. That is, why they actually constructed their text in the way they did. Why did they produce their text? Okay, so purpose, I'm thinking about context. I'm thinking about authorial intent. I'm thinking about the author's concerns. I'm thinking about the composer's concerns. I'm thinking about the composer's intention for the responder, the viewer as well. Okay, so what did the composer want to achieve by producing their particular work? Whether it's the poetry, whether it's the film. Okay, so purpose is to do with themes that they're trying to explore, the impact they're trying to have on the responder, the intent that they have in producing it from a contextual perspective, like what comment are they trying to make about their particular context. So purpose is to do with context, authorial intent, impact on the viewer or reader, and obviously the core concerns and themes that they're trying to explore. That's what purposes means to me. And notice how I interpreted that very broadly there. You should interpret those words broadly so that you can actually accommodate more of your intended draft essay, right? So you should have a draft essay that you want to use to respond to any particular question. And you need to make sure that you interpret the key terms of the question in a broad enough way so that you don't unnecessarily cut out elements of what you wanted to say. Okay, we want to make sure that if we can tie purposes into what we already said, that we do so. Because if you interpret a word in a really narrow, limited way, you're going to mistakenly disregard a lot of content that you actually were planning on talking about because you think, oh, actually what I have isn't relevant to that question. Well, maybe you're just not thinking broadly enough about the key terms. And this is why you have to go through this process first of defining the terms to yourself and thinking about different ways of relating those terms to what you want to say about a particular text or a study, right? Because you'll have your own idea about what the text is about. And then you might get a question that seems to throw you. And it's like, oh, well, I wanted to talk about this theme, but the question has said to talk about that theme. But if you actually took a minute or two to break down the theme that they asked, you'd realize, oh, there's actually really strong connections between that theme and the theme that I wanted to talk about. And if I just if I just reframe my argument in terms of the key terms of the question instead of what I wanted to say directly, I can actually preserve a lot of the material and I can make a more nuanced argument that answers the question. So don't rush ahead and dismiss certain terms and dismiss certain things that you already wanted to talk about based on a draft essay or material that you had memorized. It's very likely that if you take the time to deconstruct the keywords and you think about all the things that they could relate to, that you will realize you can actually preserve a lot of your argument from a draft piece.